Alright, so if you're here, you're probably aware TagPro patch 2.0 is on its way, and it's going to introduce diagonal walls. I think it's going to be a pretty fun change. I'm sure people will come up with some really cool map ideas, but unfortunately it's going to muck up all the texture packs that people have made so lovingly in the past, and they'll have to be updated. So let's take a look at the new tile system that patch 2.0 is going to introduce. So here it is. Okay, so it's kind of crazy, but I've made some templates which should hopefully ease the transition here into the new tile system. It's been designed so you can lay a 40 by 40 texture over top, and everything should look delightful. So that's what we're going to try today. I'm going to be using Illustrator and Photoshop to try to make some watermelon walls. So let's jump into Illustrator and see if we can make that happen. Okay, so open a new document, and let's call it watermelon tile. And set the width and height to 40 pixels and 40 pixels, and make sure the units are set to pixels, and the color mode is RGB. Make sure new objects are being aligned to the pixel grid as well. So click on the rectangle tool, and let's pick a watermelon color here, somewhere between orange and red, probably more red than that actually. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay, so make sure you turn stroke off, and we can click on the background and make a precise rectangle, 40 by 40 pixels, click OK, and align that back to the artboard just by clicking and dragging. Okay, next thing we want to do is we want to make the seeds, so we probably need to pick a color. Let's choose a dark brown color, it's closer to the orange there. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay. So click on the pen tool, and we can make our seeds. Let's start at the bottom here and just draw a reverse teardrop shape. Doesn't have to be that precise. Don't have to worry about symmetry here. Let's change that a little bit. Okay, so drag that up to the top, and you can press Alt drag to copy the object. Let's make a couple of copies of that. Let's make 8 of those. And let's rotate those so that they look a little bit more organic than seeds in a row like that. Oh, look, I spelled watermelon with 2 L's. Okay, so you want to kind of make them evenly spaced, and you have to remember that it's going to tile, so you have to think about where the top is going to connect with the bottom and the sides so that it looks natural. I think that looks pretty good, although I think I'll change this so that these are closer to the top. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so now you can press Control A to select everything and go up to Object and click Rasterize. Set the resolution to screen, should be 72 ppi, and transparent background, set the anti-aliasing to Art Optimized, and click OK. And you have a very nice looking pixel version there, and copy that, and we can bring that into Photoshop. Okay, so open a new Photoshop document. Let's call that watermelon. Let's make sure that's spelled wrong again. Watermelon tile, 40 pixels by 40, and go OK. And just press Control V to paste, and paste as pixels. Click OK. Click anywhere to place the file. Click Place, and go Edit, Define Pattern. And we're going to call it watermelon tile. OK. And let's open up one of our templates. So open tilecc.psd, open that up, and add a new layer. And we're going to click on the paint bucket or fill tool and choose pattern from the drop down menu at the top and pick our watermelon pattern. Okay, and we're just going to click on the background. Wow. Now we're going to select each layer by control clicking or control shift clicking to add to that selection. And with the layer still selected, press the mask button at the bottom, and there you go. Now everything's punched out from that layer. Now we're going to take the walls layer and put that over top of our watermelon layer and double click on one of them to edit the blending options. Let's turn the fill opacity down to 0 and enable stroke here. It's going to allow us to have the outside of the watermelon. So let's set the stroke position to inside, and let's make that a little larger, maybe around 6 or 7. And set the fill color to a gradient, and the gradient type to shape burst. Now we can double click the gradient to edit the gradient map, and let's make the inside a little transparent. Bring that down to 0 and bring the other anchor up to around the middle here. And let's double click on this black anchor and select green. That'll be the outside of our watermelon. That's pretty good. Now let's pick maybe a lighter green closer to the middle here. Let's add some yellow to that. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, and let's make the inside, the far inside, just a nice pink color, like the inside of watermelon. It doesn't work. Okay, so we'll just select a really light pink color. Perfect. Okay, so we can click OK. Okay, close that. Okay, and yeah. Okay, so and we can right click and copy that layer style and shift click on those, paste that layer style. Okay, wow, that looks pretty cool. All right, let's add a little bit of a bevel too. Double click on the original layer there. So up the stroke while we're at it. Okay, so let's add a hard chisel bevel and bring that down so it's very light. So let's make that. Let's see what a soft chisel looks like. That's pretty good. Okay, and copy that layer style and copy that layer style and paste it on the remaining layers. Cool, that looks pretty good. Okay, so now we can grab the selection tool and select all of the tiles here. Let's zoom in and see. Yep, okay. So we can go Control Shift C or go Edit, Copy Merged. Okay, and now let's open up the tile set that we're using. Okay, so here's the base tile set. Let's delete all the walls here. Perfect. Delete those and go zoom out and go Edit, Paste. Wow, that's pretty much done. Let's save those and see how it looks. Save that as tiles.png. Actually, let's call that watermelon, and to continue with our typos, we'll do water MELLON tiles. Okay. All right, let's try it out. All right, here we are in game with our watermelon walls loaded up. Looks pretty good to me. Everything seems to be tiling quite nicely. Yeah, this is just an example. I'm sure you'll probably be able to come up with something a little cooler. But yeah, I look forward to seeing it. And yeah, that's the end of the tutorial. Take care.